Are we seeing anything on mine yet, or seems like it's dropping as many?
I'm not able to connect to your stream still.
All right, let me set the router again.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Alright, I started the broadcast, so we'll hang around here and watch some G.I. Joe practice.
Woo! It's alive!
It's alive!
Alright.
Hey, to all you early birds in chat, I think it's mostly just bad breaks in our competitors. No, there's some people in here.
Hello, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello, gentlemen and ladies who dress like gentlemen.
Hello. Cold.
Hello, people from all parts of the gender spectrum.
I really have forgotten how I go through this. Alright, I think that's what I wanted to do. So stop.
I suppose it's telling that everyone is choosing to spend their last minute practice on this first goal.
Yeah.
I would say I have a pretty good handle on the second goal. It's not as input intensive as this for sure.
I don't have a good handle on either goal, but this one is definitely the one that I am very much less confident that I can finish.
This is really my first experience with this game at all, practicing this week, and it's honestly really, really fun. And,
Yeah, it's outside of the first level. It's actually pretty fun. It's just that this first mini boss is kind of a bad design decision in my opinion. But other than that, it's actually a pretty good game with a lot of actually complex mechanics to it. Granted, I would expect no less from a Capcom game from the NES. Yay, I finally beat him!
Yay!
You didn't get tagged by those two guys after the boss either?
Nope. Once is enough for that. And now forgetting how to go fast through this stage. Oh, no, whoops, I messed up. Oh well.
Yeah, you just turned this. I don't know. Is this a mini boss with the whip?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the game considers the start and ends of stages.
The end of the stage is when you pick up, like, the, thing at the end of the stage. The mini-boss is kind of like...
You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm
I think-
still here.
Yeah,
I'm
it looks
here.
like the
What
call dropped
happened?
for a moment.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, my internet's
Well, technically, I'm not in the call, but I am in the call.
Yeah, it was weird. It just
That's-
called myself. I called myself a moment ago somehow.
Yep, so...
Something
Okay, now
That's-
it's recognizing me as in the call again, but... Yeah, it called me while I was in the call, so... Good job, Skype.
pretty busy.
Oh, I got multiple calls at once. What?
Alright, this is hopefully the last restart we'll need.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, let's see if... Is Ood Sigma, you back?
Ruh-roh.
He had to reset his router, so we just
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in the call.
need to see how that went.
I can kind of hear you a little bit, dude. I can kind of hear you a little bit. Isn't very strong. Isn't very strong.
He seemed to be streaming practice okay, just the other day.
I'm dropping frames all day though.
Wow, this is weird. I'm getting double audio.
Ow,
Hold on, let me
ow.
restart Skype.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, you're probably in the call twice, somehow.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. Hold on, let me restart just a second.
I'll restart Skype. This is ridiculous.
Everything's being bizarre today. Sorry about this, guys. I don't know why nothing wants to work.
Log in.
Hello again.
Hello?
Hello.
Hopefully
Good
better
job,
luck this
Skype.
time.
Is this the sign to switch to Discord?
Guess so. Alright. Alright, so, Ood, are you back in the call?
I am in the call, yes. Am I broadcasting? I can't tell.
Let's find out.
I see fast 3.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Also, I had to leave and rejoin the Skype call. It just hung trying to connect, to reconnect.
Yeah, it's doing some bizarre stuff today. Hopefully this doesn't persist.
Now,
Let us hope.
Mikey is not in the call. There he is.
I'm sorry, it didn't ring again for me. Because,
Weird.
yeah.
Weirdness all over the place today. Okay, well, I think we can do this mystery game practice.
Oh,
Finally,
wow.
I guess we're all ready. Owl streams are up.
Cheers.
So let's.
Man.
Alright, your mystery goal is posted. It's Conquest of the Crystal Palace.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Oh my.
Not so bad. I agree, this is a not so bad game.
I really like it. I was doing some testing on it, and found myself wanting to keep playing after I was done.
Oh, just stage 1, huh? Okay.
Hey, Anatole, Thuglash, faking the books.
Stage
Billy Bonkai. Just in time to see Mr. Green practice from beginning to end.
This. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we're looking at here.
Let's see, what... I think there's some tips that are worth reading.
Yes, there should be.
Yeah, mostly about the dog. And you have a special attack. If you turn around while attacking, he does this like shing, and it does way more damage. The record for this starts with a different orb. He starts with a thing that lets him shoot projectiles. Oh, it looks like that's Mikey has found the shop. I think by the time you get there, you'll only really have enough money for a health refill. But I don't know, maybe it's worth looking around. You can also get the news report, if that's what you're into, news. I won't spoil what that's like, but it's worth seeing once. But yeah, the speedrun starts with a sort of projectile attack, and it does half the damage of your regular attack, but it has some properties that make it helpful during the stages. But overall, I think this health orb that you guys have, which gives you a bunch of extra health, is going to be more helpful. Because damage boosting is definitely a thing. But this dog, man, like, he just goes nuts.
Yeah, that
Runs
dog
around,
is crazy.
attacks everything. Like, if he falls in a pit, he just jumps out of it. He jumps up walls.
Yeah, jumping off the dog is fun too.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I found if you summon him right away, he doesn't quite last to the end of the stage. He tends to get himself killed before then.
Uh-huh.
There are some jumps you can do with him. I mean, if you want to look at the tool-assisted run, that's probably not going to be too much help because it starts with the jump orb specifically so that it can jump way up high and then get on the dog and jump off of it and skip a whole bunch of stuff. But I think there's a couple spots where it's faster to call him in and jump off it.
Awesome.
And
Call the
it's-
dog, immediately get damage boost into pit. Pro strats.
Thanks, Zap.
Let's run the damage boost the proper way. This may not be so bad.
Yeah, you don't have to turn around to do damage boosts, you just have to get on the far side of an enemy. That's always nice.
Okay, that might be a thought. Alright, let's try it this way. There we go.
Dr. Mutilated in chat suspects collusion.
The most collusion.
Thinks that Toad is responsible for all game choices, when in fact we actually have the players all vote on games, and we
It's true.
choose the one that works the best based off of what.
Except for
except for what?
Except for most of us voted high something else, and yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't know.
We get one veto per player, so sometimes 3 people rank one game number 1, and the 4th person's like, nah, veto. So that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to rig my voting to not give Toad in this game, but can't win them all.
You know what, Dr. Mutilated?
Mikey survives his first encounter with the dreaded monkey. Most people
No.
just die there.
No, that was my second
Oh, okay.
part of that bridge, but
I think he killed me like 4 or 5 times before I finally was like,
what
alright.
am I clipping on there?
Yeah, that your jump is weird when you're when a platform is like if you're partially inside a platform.
There we go.
So you really got to get to the edge of a couple platforms in this green cliff section.
So that's not gonna work.
Water is so deadly.
There we go.
Is the shop a forced,
You can jump
You can't
over.
jump. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a tight jump, but you can jump over it.
Oop.
Well, the dog tried to take out the monkey of doom there for Toad.
Tried. No luck, though.
Okay, let's watch.
Oops.
Oh, Cards just got a dog jump there.
Yeah, very nice.
It seems like a pretty good spot because once he gets on that wall, he just kind of wants to keep going up that wall. Naturally, that's a thing he can do.
This damn monkey. I'm not gonna like that thing. Okay. What in the world was that? Okay. Hmm. Let's see here.
Hmm.
Okay.
Sorry guys, need to do some restart real quick. Viewers at home, I apologize for that. There we go.
I didn't watch too much of the record run, but it looked to me like it's pretty unoptimized. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are some faster strats for everything, I guess. The level and definitely the boss. So I definitely encourage you guys to experiment. But it's definitely up to you how you spend your time.
Oh, there's a thought. No, not quite. No. Hmm.
Hmm.
I think that's gonna
Sorry,
work.
I've got to keep restarting the stream here. For some reason, I'm still not getting the Sigma's stream.
Looks like it's frozen for me. I really wish there was a way I could reload it
Do you want to
more
try a
easily.
different? Yeah, we could also try a different stream key. Oh, it's back. It just came back. Weird.
Might just be that his ISP is having issues right now, too.
I mean, that's probably what it is, but it might be worth trying a different stream key just in case. I don't know.
I can try it if you want that. I think it is my ISP.
All right. Well, then it's probably not worth switching the stream.
No, that's not. Oh! Oh! That was interesting. Okay, let's look at this a little bit. Okay.
Yep, we got some River City Ransom music. going in on Rainwave.
Oh, that almost worked.
Feasel,
Looks
you
like it
ran that
should work.
game.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, did you do co-op runs?
A little bit. I mean, I don't live near Darkwing, so we couldn't really do too much. But we did that in a marathon.
There we go.
Toad's experimenting with this boss, but he's only got 1 health on this save state.
Just seeing. Let's see what's going on. Is this the last boss of the first level?
Yeah, this is the end of the goal.
Okay.
If I could rely on that dog save, that would make that section a little more palatable. But I don't know about that.
It's definitely possible to lose a lot of time on this boss. So everyone's gonna want to get it down pretty solid, I think.
Yeah, let me get there first and I'll work on it. Seems like that should work more consistently.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Cards saved by the dog. We got some cool cats watching us in chat. Hopefully they're not scared away by this rampant dog.
No, don't touch the shop, please. Okay. Oh, these monkeys! These lag monkeys! They're everywhere!
The pyramids have begun.
Yeah, Dr. Mutilate's got just a small pyramid. Yeah, he's a little self-conscious about it.
I had dog elevator going on there for a little bit, but
Stick it through again.
So I think this boss has 24 health. Your regular attacks and the dogs do 4, and then the turnaround slash thing does 16.
Pretty
And
useful.
then I think this other little guy has 12, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's definitely a way to get through that. Okay. Yeah, let's try that. No. Oh, I'm not gonna. Okay. Never mind that. Not if the dog's gonna kill my meal ticket. Okay.
It's so great when you're standing there waiting for a moving platform, and in the meantime, the dog is just running straight up a vertical wall.
Okay. Alright. Alright, I know what I'll do there. Oh, hey. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna remember to do that then. Okay. Yeah. That looks pretty decent. Just remember to damage boost into the skeleton before the dog kills it. Okay. That's one way to get through that. Oh, I can't dog. Damn dog.
It's like whatever the dog is doing to scale these walls doesn't have him actually right up against the wall.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. There's a damage boost I can get behind.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Alright, I do not have enough health to do that. Okay, so...
I think the speedrun video isn't too helpful for the boss fight because he's using the fire attack quite a bit, but the tool assisted run might actually be worth checking out because it doesn't have the fire attack, so it mostly just uses the sword.
Interesting.
conquest of the crystal on a phone. Phone, of course, competed in our last match, I believe it was. Ninja Gaiden 3.
Alright, let's back up here.
He was our big winner of the day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and there's MTI, one of his opponents during that match.
Okay, if I'm gonna take that much damage, this is not gonna work too well. Really? This might work a little better. Still not a great level of health.
Yeah, there's a couple spots where I wonder if lag reduction might be worth looking into.
Oh, that's what's hitting me. Okay. I had no idea. Okay.
Water?
No, some of the projectiles from the golem type things, they're hitting me just as they're despawning from the screen.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's like the sprite disappears, but they're still there. Definitely a lot of thought needs to be put into health management.
Fucking boulders.
Do we have any other Canadians in chat? This is the Thanksgiving weekend over here. Anyone watching this on a laptop in their parents' place?
Is anybody eating turkey right now while they're watching?
Right now.
I want to be eating turkey. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, that's right. Most people know it as the Black Friday weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's supposed to be a peace sign. It looks like an ear.
Maybe that's what that is. It's hard to tell.
Just got a lot more grim. Does a cute little dance and then like, here's the
Holds up
I
an
stole
ear.
from the corpse, my fallen enemy. I will add it to the collection I wear around my neck. Yeah, our family's all spread out this Thanksgiving. My sister lives in London, and she was here for the summer, and she's hoping to come back for Christmas. So the trip in between for Thanksgiving is not in the cards. And we're getting ready to sell the house, so the place is like there's painting supplies and things being moved around. But we'll have a turkey, so that, I mean, that's enough, right?
Oh yeah.
Took me 30 minutes,
I
but I
have
made it to the boss.
no idea what my Thanksgiving plans are going to be this year when it comes around in America.
When's Canadian Christmas? Author Blues in chat. I forget. Is he? What group is he in?
Okay.
He's going next week.
Yeah.
Or it was supposed to be tomorrow, but it's gonna get that one's the one that got rescheduled.
That's right. He's doing MC Kids.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I am
I
so
am
sorry.
sorry.
Come on.
Nah.
Nah, okay.
It's
Well,
a weird game,
granted-
but it plays all right.
Well,
It
it's probably
plays all
something
right.
Blues would like.
It's like a low tier Mario 3.
It's got some cool stuff, like the thing where you flip around and then you're on the bottom. Like, that's cool.
Yeah. It's got a moose.
That's definitely cool.
And that's
But I guess
halfway
as
to
a Canadian, I would
Moose and Squirrel.
be a little biased, I guess.
There's no squirrels in the game, but there is a moose who does the Bullwinkle charge at you.
If there's a moose in a video game, that's what it's doing.
It looks surprisingly like Bullwinkle, the moose in MC Kids. It really does.
I had the boss of spawns you all the way back here, huh?
Yeah, dying at the boss is really good.
Bad Kitty 64 has never heard of this game. You are in the majority, I think. This is a pretty obscure game. Oh, what was the developer again?
This is Irem? No.
It's Asmic?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is why I probably haven't heard of it. This was suggested during the SGL suggestion box.
I think one of our players for the tournament also submitted this.
I think so. So it's one of those things where like someone found this game and probably proposed it for some sort of blind race, and then that gives it some attention, becomes this sort of hidden gem. It's exactly the kind of thing we like to use on the show. But it's a shame most people don't know about it, because it's got some crazy stuff going on with this dog.
Yeah, the way you can use them to elevate is interesting. It's just spawning him at the correct time is hard.
Yeah. Empty eye selections have. Let's see which. Which of these are his? Oh, there they are.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle, and Rocky and Bullwinkle.
That's one way to get through the boss, I guess.
I haven't looked into these ones yet. But I know one of them offhand might struggle in the voting department. From what I remember of it, anyway. So this boss, sometimes I can hit him more than once before he's invulnerable again. I'm not quite sure exactly what determines that. I have managed to just kill him. Just the fight starts, and I kill him right away in 3 hits.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure if that's even a reproducible thing or what.
Hey, Blicky.
You see, that totally looks like an ear.
It's been really interesting to see how much I actually finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a ton of health, but there's an awful lot of these pits, and you get knocked back really far when you get hit.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a fun sound. It's one of those things where like someone's getting a call next to something electronic.
Right.
Oop.
I think help. It's one way through, I guess. But Oh, jeez.
Has everyone gotten used to attacking in midair? How it cuts your jump short?
Instantly. Yeah. Kind of.
Oh, the dogs are too late. Okay.
I found myself falling into a lot of pits for a while before I got the hang of it.
Yeah, there's such a temptation. You're jumping over a pit and an enemy comes at you and you're just like, oh, I'll just slash it. Nope. Even when you know you're not supposed to, it's just hard to turn off that instinct.
Yeah, it's interesting how the attack is a jump cancel, so...
You can do some kind of fun stuff though by like walking and just kind of rolling from jump to attack right away. If you do it right, you can kind of get an attack out without stopping.
Hmm.
It would be nice if the boulders were like set spawns instead of random ones.
I think there's something going on. Some kind of interval or screen position.
Now, even then, they're a little different, so...
Looks
You
like
see,
there are
like,
some...
right there was like... What? Where did all these fucking boulders come from?
That's a lot of boulders.
Yeah, there was like 5 on the screen at once.
Huh.
So, yeah, I don't know what determines the RNG for them, but it's definitely random. There.
Okay.
It looks like there's a couple ways you can use this dog, though, as an elevator. And then
Yeah,
that way get hit
yeah,
by a boulder, then you know, the dog keeps going up. But you definitely need to invest some time into getting used to summoning him and putting him away, and where exactly is his hitbox.
Alright, I actually finished the run. How much time's left?
17. Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
No! Jeez. Okay.
Alright, sorry guys, I need to take the stream down again for just a moment. Hopefully for the last time.
Whoa? Okay.
Sorry about that.
I'm guessing no one really feels solid about it yet.
No.
I haven't completed a full run, so no.
I've completed it a couple of times, so I'm feeling okay. Better than I am about G.I. Joe, though. So.
Well, yeah, G.I. Joe is going to be really hard for you on account of the illness preventing practice.
Yep.
Especially when everyone else has been practicing so hard. This is maybe one of our most practiced episodes based off of people uploading their practice attempts.
But yeah, when it feels like you're getting stabbed in the kidney, it's hard to do things.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but I've heard stories.
Hold on. Let's know how to do this. Hmm. Didn't want to do that. Hello? That is not how you're supposed to... Okay. That's some good work. So focused on getting the end right and then just mess up the beginning all over again. Good feel.
You'll have lots of time to practice the beginning when you reset over and over.
Almost. Nice boulder. Nice boulder. I can't rely on the dog as a backup. Okay. Damn.
That call was just passing through.
My old speakers used to do that all the time on me. And one of my CRTs started doing it too.
Yeah, my TV will do that. I just gotta not put my phone near it.
It'll have nothing near it, it'll just start doing that.
Oh, do you have a cordless phone in your house besides your cell phone?
I just have a cell phone.
Oh, really? It's gotta be the cell
Yeah.
phone then.
I have no idea what my neighbors have though, so...
Could be TV gremlins.
Nice work. Oh my, there's a platform there. Okay.
Yeah, you get inside the platform a little bit when you make that
Right.
jump there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to finish it if I lose that much health. Oh boy.
But yeah, I know a guy who can take care of TV gremlins if you want. He charged me about $250, but he promised that they went away, so you know, I haven't had any problems since.
Come on. Oh yeah, I kind of do have a low battery smoke alarm beeping in the next room. I get pointed out about that from time to time, but everyone here is just too lazy to deal with it. No, the dogs are too late. There we go. Finally got that. Finally got that damage boost. No, that's not gonna work.
Less than 9 minutes left to practice. I don't think we're gonna see anyone give up on practice early this time around.
Okay. That was a better boss run.
Can you do that crazy turnaround slash in midair?
Yes.
But you're falling when you're doing it, but you can't. do it
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Oh my god, how am I gonna get through the rest of this game with 2 health? Oh boy.
It'd be a super pro move to tag the second part of the boss with one of those.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Sorry about that. Another drop. Should get that right back up for you. Hopefully for the last time.
Oh, almost got the dog back up. Dang.
Oh, that's right. Mystery tournament.
Yep, that's happening today.
How has that progressed?
I have no idea. I've been too busy practicing today to just check out.
Weebles beat Kurt Q. Andy beat Rames. So those two are in winners finals. And real Andy beat Raindrop Dry as well, and Kurt Q. So he's in losers finals. And Ion G knocked out Nighty, so Nighty's officially knocked out.
No, can't have that.
Just under 4 minutes left. And then everyone has to get ready to mash.
All good to me.
Ready to Monster Mash?
Unfortunately, no.
I don't think so. No! Oh man, okay. Oh, come on. Okay, I finished one run. It's a horrible run, but I finished one. Yay. Oh, man.
That's a good start.
Can't forget. Alright, get this release. This boss again.
That microphone.
Yeah, that was loud.
Wow, it's just this one checkpoint for this entire section? That's great. Okay. I wonder if there's any way to fuse this.
That was a bad fall.
I like how when enemies are invincible, the dog stops and just barks at them.
Oh yeah, that is a nice touch. Okay.
Alright, I think we should start switching over to our main game.
Yep, already started too.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh, there. Okay. That's cool. I remember the one I was using. We run.
Give the players a moment to readjust here. G.I. Joe with the Atlantis factor.
Alright. Well, since we're about to start, let me welcome everyone to Speed Gaming League, the playoffs, 2015 playoffs. We've got G.I. Joe, the Atlantis factor for you today, as well as Conquest of the Crystal Palace. We're going to have 3 matches. 2 of them will be of G.I. Joe. These players have had a week to work on this game, so we'll see how well they were able to do with it. This is a very tricky game, so I'm really curious to see how they're going to handle it.
Poorly.
Poorly. Let's hope. Well, we should introduce our players. So, up here in the top left, we've got Toad. How you doing, Toad?
I'm doing great. How are you, Feasel?
Excellent, excellent.
Awesome.
And Toad is going to be playing against Ood Sigma in the first matchup here. How you doing, Ood Sigma?
Doing good, thanks.
Awesome. And over here on the other side, in the top right, we've got CardsOfTheHeart. Hi, Cards.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And we've also got Mikey, whom Cards is playing against in this first matchup. Hi, Mikey.
Hello.
And I'm Feasel, host, co-producer of the show. We've also got with us Mythical9, the other co-host, co-producer.
Hello.
And
we also have, Arcano
lurking
on
somewhere in the
timer.
background. Yeah, we have Arcano, who's going to be doing the timer today. How you doing, Arcano?
He's like, crap, unmute the phone.
Man. No, that's
yeah,
fine.
He's not feeling well today.
Okay,
so he's
yeah,
not gonna
I
be-
shouldn't have called him out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's in chat though.
Okay, that's fine.
There he is.
Alright, great. Well, so what we're going to do today is play a few matches of this game, and I think as soon as the players are all ready, it looks like everyone's got their scripts ready, so I think we're about ready to start this off. Is everybody ready to go?
Yep.
Ready as I can be.
I guess.
Okay, well, then I'm going to count you guys down. 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off. So,
Good luck, everyone.
yeah, good luck, guys.
G.I. Joe, the Atlantis Factor, is, it's pretty cool, honestly. I did not check out the story. I really wish I did now that I think about it. But judging by the background, I'm guessing you play as the G.I. Joes in Atlantis. And the premise is worth a video game on its own. But they went ahead and made something pretty cool with it. What you're gonna see in the speedrun is a lot of collecting these POWs. These upgrade your attacks, and the key is to get to level 3 as fast as possible because that unlocks a jump kick, and that is the fastest way to get around in this game. So once they rush to the jump kick, you're just gonna see a lot of jump kicks until they get to these bosses where you're gonna see, I suppose, an unintended method of combat involving crouching to sort of, I think what it does is it sort of refreshes your attack hitbox.
Yeah, you mash down and B, and every time
Yeah,
you crouch, it refreshes your the cooldown of your punch.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
just
sort of an
get
attack
up on
cancel,
there
if you will.
Yeah.
and you just hammer on them with fists of fury until they die. You need to be able to mash pretty good in order to get these bosses down before they just straight up kill you.
Yeah, particularly this first one. It's very tricky. It's a very hard boss, first mini-boss fight. I mean, for something at the very beginning of the game, I think they went a little overboard.
Yeah. Big dude with a hammer comes out, lays down the law. So, luckily that's early on. Players get to find out whether or not they mashed hard enough to get past him, and if they don't, there's a reset. But it's only about 30 to 40 seconds to get back to him to try again. After that, though, Jump Kick City, mostly, and then there's a mini-boss that a couple people have already blown past, and they're on this final boss of the goal, I believe it is, where you get to see this knee drop thing, dive kick. I don't know, I can't quite tell what he's doing.
It's a knee drop.
Knee drop.
Knee drop, yeah.
Very similar to Kickmaster. Apparently, it's the same developer. This was published by Capcom, but developed by Kid. Developed for Kickmaster, and all the kick attacks are very similar, especially that knee drop. It's pretty much straight out of Kickmaster, so that makes sense. Anyway, that's the best way to deal with that boss, and also this overkill boss, which is the end of the goal. That's what I just remembered when I saw it. And that's a relief because you don't have to mash anymore. Every player, I think, has said, the mashing is
Yeah, it's pretty tiring.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been better if that was at the end, so you didn't have to mash quite as much, but they gotta mash it every reset now.
That's true. It's very rare that in our sort of esports-ish competition that we do here that physical fatigue ever plays a factor, but
Well,
this might be it.
yeah, we've had some people complain about, their thumbs wearing out, which, definitely can happen, but that's more the case when we're doing like a Thursday episode when people are just, practice and then match, then practice, then match.
Yeah, it's like a 4.5 hour thing.
Yeah, that can be if you do all 3 of them. Then yeah.
But you've got a gun, right? We're just not going to see too much.
Not
of
in
the
this
gun
goal. In the second goal, we'll see a gun.
Yeah,
Not this gun, but another gun.
and then you can also level up the gun separately.
I mean, I think the speedrun link uses the gun on the first couple of enemies, but it's just as fast just to punch them, so...
Yeah, instead of a punch and then crouch to cancel, it just punch and then weapon swap to the gun to shoot immediately.
Yeah.
Sort of the same thing, except instead of down, you're hitting select. Most people probably more comfortable with down. Is there a reason why it uses the gun? Like, is that leveling up the gun in any way?
No, he doesn't level up the gun at all, because it's... I think he just does it because it might be frames quicker,
Oh,
but it's a lot of extra input to do. And if you don't hit select fast enough, you'll accidentally collect a power-up for the gun, and that messes up your drop kick leveling, so...
yeah, you don't want to do that. You definitely want all the power-ups to go towards this super fast jump kick. We've already got some runs on the board. Pretty close times. I expected to see some close times after I saw how hard everyone was working on this goal. This one was definitely the big question mark. I mean, I suppose the mystery game is kind of the definition of a question mark, but everyone was a lot more concerned about this goal than they were about the other one. That's where I think most of their practice time went.
Certainly where more of my time went, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm afraid this boss is just slightly outside of my mashing capability, so you guys might not see me get past him.
The way the power-ups come out of these enemies is tricky in a speedrun. You want to keep moving forward, but...
Got him! Yay!
Nice.
And now just be careful not to get killed by these guys.
Yes, there are 2 last enemies before the level ends. And they can sort of play dead if you knock them down but don't kill them. So that sucks.
Oh my god!
But like, he plays
Wow, that was close.
it out, and he's free to go to this next section. There is another mashy boss here.
But he's easier because
yeah,
you should
much
have
easier.
higher health.
You should, but I think he's
There we go.
banked up a
Got
little
him.
bit here for this
Well-
first section.
Cards just finishes a run here. Takes his PB down from a 323 to looks like a low 318, so that's very close to what Toad has got. We're going to have to look to the official timing to see who's ahead, so Ark is working on Cards' new run right now. We'll know in a moment whether that's going to be a first place time.
I'm really
love to
worried about getting a
see
time
this
this
up to,
low.
but his
'cause-
stream just won't load for me.
Oh.
Wait, which one? Which stream?
Ud Sigma's.
Actually, it's working okay for me right now.
Yeah, I know, which is great.
Which is good for us.
Yes. That's if it's gonna work for one of us, it should definitely be
Oh,
working.
he's on 7 now.
Oh, that would. Okay. On a hunch, I tried checking 5 in case he moved there, and then I was like, nope, I guess not. All right, mystery solved. But it looks like he's yet to get on the board, but he is in this this red level.
Yep,
Level
he and,
3, I
and
guess it
Mikey
is.
are both making their way through the latter part of this goal, so we should have a time in a moment.
Yeah, if you see any odd movement, you know, that looks really inefficient. You know, why didn't they jump on that platform right there? They just went right past it. It's because they need to collect these hostages that I guess they are, that are throughout the level. There's 8 of them, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them are in a bit of out-of-the-way places, of course.
Yeah. But what else? So I didn't get a chance to really play this game and check it out. But what else does this game have going for it? Like, are there multiple G.I. Joe characters you can play as?
Yeah, there are. There's other Joes, but speedrun I don't think makes too much use of them.
No, the dropkick is too good of a movement tech to really bother with the other ones.
Right. I feel like between this game and the other G.I. Joe game, this is a bit weaker as a speedrun. There's just, I mean, there's a little bit of exploring to collect, you know, different hostages, which is what the first game is all about. In the first game, there's always an intro sequence where you're, you know, just doing a short little platforming level, and you do a big collection mission, and then another short level and a boss. This game has, I guess, sort of a similar structure, but it just seems like it's a bit quicker to get through everything. There's just less involved. I don't know what it is
Yeah, the
about
jump
it.
kick solves a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Very rarely is the answer not jump kick.
Yeah, it is a fun game though, and I like, you know, the different weapons, and they have a whole upgrade system and all that. So I think it's a pretty well-made game. Probably a very fun casual playthrough.
Yeah, plus it's not entirely linear too, because you can choose the next area you go to on the map.
Right. Yes. So that is a nice feature.
Yeah, I think it's possible to go the wrong way in between levels here.
I always like being able to go the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't think that is an easy thing to fix either. Like, I don't think you can just be like, whoops, go to the other level. I think you're kind of locked into it. So that'll be a reset if that ever happens. But we missed it, but Toad has reclaimed top spot here with a 313.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I lose.
we were all excited watching this battle between Cards and Toad, and now apparently Toad's put something that Cards does not believe he can match. But we've
Best
had
I ever
people
did in
excited.
practice was 316, and that took a lot of very rigorous mashing to get to that point. I don't think I have a chance at that now.
I
We've
believe
had
you.
people exceed expectations during the show before, so it's not. Don't write it off just yet. But
Yeah.
that does mean you're going to see a lot of resets from Cards and I guess Toad, as they both try to go for this super clean, super optimized run here.
I think the speedrun does this section of the game in about 310-ish, like a low 310 or something like that. So it is definitely pretty optimized, I must say.
Well, we've got Ood drop kicking, knee dropping, foot dropping, whatever you call this, doing this to the boss. And we're about to get a time on the board here.
Yeah, he blows up in a pretty incredible way there. Almost some
Yeah,
like
I enjoy the death animation for the bosses in this game.
Hello?
it's like some real old school Atari/Amiga graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this big chunky pixels. I don't know. I don't know what they're going for. I guess if they wanted to do a complicated effect like that, they had to keep it simple with, you know, with the sprites. But I guess that's the portal. There's something I forget what the plot of this is. It's probably one of those things where it's like some evil organization is using the magic of ancient ruins to power their super weapon. It's probably one of those things.
Yep.
And I think that's like a portal opening up. And that's why the death animation looks so funny.
I must confess I was never G.I. Joe fan.
I watched quite a bit
more
of
my
G.I.
time.
Joe. I know they did something where they had different pyramids that were positioned at different places around the world, and like energy shoots out of them. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, come back here.
But it's definitely the kind of thing that Cobra Commander would do. Alright, looks like we got dude's time up on the board. He's got a 332.
Yeah, he was going for another run, took down the boss, and then double KO'd himself on one of the two enemies right before the end of the goal, or the end of the stage, rather.
At this point, I think I've lost more runs to that than the boss.
Hmm.
I like when the boss elects to do his little boot animation rather than swing with the gigantic hammer.
Yeah, he just did this little ineffectual kick instead of swinging with this cinder block on a stick.
No!
No idea how the speedrun manages to do that mini boss with, and have like what, 3 health left over afterwards.
I think I went in there with 1 damage and got out of it this past attempt with 2 health, so it is possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did it twice
Had to
in
get my-
practice, but it's hard.
gonna give my thumb a minute rest here after that. My D-pad thumb is not used to mashing.
Cards had a minus 1.9 on the 3rd stage, which would put him right around his 316 PB. And just missed a jump for a hostage and had to reset.
Yeah, I normally take the high path and avoid that elevator to get to that hostage, but it wastes a little bit of time, and I need all the time gains I can find at this point. There we go.
Toad fighting this boss pretty cleanly.
Got a little sloppy at the end. But,
What? You ass!
Good.
So getting just a little bit better, and the splits show that even more time can come off.
Yep, fraction of a second improvement by Toad. Still holding on to first by a reasonable margin, more than 4 seconds. About 12 minutes left on the clock, so we're past the halfway point, but there's still a healthy amount of time left.
It's kind of interesting that
Listen
Toad
to
has
that
his...
mashing.
Yeah, he knocks you back a little bit when he hits you, so you have to interrupt your mashing to walk forward a little bit. And if you're like me and you're the kind of person who needs to position and turn his entire body just to get into a comfortable position to mash, suddenly having to do something else with the D-pad kind of interrupts that a bit.
It's very awkward mashing with the D-pad anyway to begin with, so combining that with motion, I mean, that's the kind of thing I'd probably look into alternative grips for.
Hold the controller backwards with your index fingers.
Yeah,
Zoom
but you
down
still
and
have to-
attack.
You're mashing with both hands on this one now.
Right, you're mashing down, right? And B?
Down
Yeah,
and
down.
B.
But it's like
Alternating.
alternate mashing?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I forget what it was. I had some game that had something kind of like that, and I turned the controller sideways, and I used two thumbs on the D-pad, and one of them would mash and down, and the other would do side to side. And then, so I just had my right hand hitting both down and the attack button. So that was interesting.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
So that way, one hand can handle just, mashing with the two. And do you have to let go of down before you press B or not?
I think so.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where
you
it's...
actually have to, but you have to let go of it. It's
Then the Ninja Gaiden grip would work then. The sword canceling grip for that, it's just almost the same input then. So yeah, that sideways grip that I'm talking about probably would work. And then you don't even have to really alternate mash, but you sort of like push your hand down and make sure that one finger hits the button before the other one does.
yeah. So yeah, I think rocking like that would work just fine with that.
Yep.
With the smashing.
Cards attacks one too many times in the air and gets a jump kick, which sends him flying off the platform, but he had some pretty big green numbers in that third stage once again.
No, that's gonna work.
Perfect. Okay, I'm getting better at that mashing all of a sudden.
Got your second
Yeah,
wind.
2 health. It feels really good to attack things in this game. Every time you punch them, there's this explosion that actually looks pretty good and doesn't seem to lag the game horribly like you'd think it would. Probably because they chunked the sprite up into a bunch of little bits so that you only ever see some of them while it's exploding, so it can look a little weird, but having this explosion come out on every punch, on every enemy, feels pretty damn good, especially when you can attack as fast as you can.
There we go. Close.
Toad comes in with a 310.
See why I didn't want to give Toad an S game?
Toad, of course, has quite a reputation coming into this match. He is undefeated in SGL. The only player to reach 12 wins without a loss, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
2 first place finishes in the Big 20 Best of NES races, and a healthy third in the third race. I believe it was third.
Yes.
Yeah. So people knew they were up against something they didn't want to be up against, and they put in the time to really push Toad here.
Or would have.
Well, yeah. If it wasn't for, debilitating illness and crippling pain.
Yeah. It was interesting looking at all the practice that the players were doing this week, though. I mean, I think people were practicing pretty hard when they had the opportunity to be. We can keep track of the runs that they upload when they're doing practice, if they're using the script for practice mode. And we saw just a whole bunch of attempts from our players come in, so they must have really been working hard on it. It's important, though. This is the playoffs. This is the one to really work on.
Playoffs? Don't
Wait,
talk about playoffs.
what's happening?
Kidding me? Playoffs?
Well, we should probably mention that that's happening. The playoffs are going on right now. That is what we're watching. We've got 4 of the matches done so far. I think that's half of the round 1 matches. So this will be the 5th one that we do. We got another one coming up later tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern time is when we're going to be starting that. We'll just go right into it from this. We'll have, I think by the time these guys finish, they'll have a little time to play the bonus game, and then we can jump right into the next match. Or right into the next episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's QB Craze later.
yeah, it's G.I. Joe, then Conquest of the Crystal Palace, G.I. Joe again, Kiwi Craze, mystery game as of yet to be
Not revealed yet.
revealed. Yes, it has been determined but not revealed, and then one more match of Kiwi Craze. So lots and lots of SGL today.
What's the
Cards
timer
is
at?
looking a little defeated here.
5 minutes.
I need a break.
5.
Yes.
Yeah, my hand is starting to kill me. I think I might just have to forfeit this so I don't completely destroy my chances of the next 2 goals.
Yep, I guess at some point you realize that maybe it's better to just rest up for the next one because
Yeah.
you know that's where you can make more of a difference. Then that makes sense.
Yeah.
You should have let the players use turbo, but see, even that I don't know would have really helped. It's such
it's
a combination of buttons.
because you can't really, because you have to let go of down at the right time.
Yeah.
too. You can't really rock a turbo across down and B the right way. So
Right,
yeah.
and you could probably set up some sort of like turbo macro, but that's getting pretty far out there.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope I don't want to have to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, the mash hit is still in the second goal of this, but it's a lot less intensive because you could actually avoid the guy's attacks. It's not a try to outdamage him before he kills you. So
Yeah, this boss isn't really fair. You can't really do much but trade
the-
hits.
apparently, if you upgrade the gun instead, that's the way to do it. But
Right.
that's not obvious, and having a money boss like this in the very first stage is that. Yeah, I that's something I just call a bit of a bad design in an otherwise pretty good game.
Well, maybe they meant for you to just grind on these enemies until you got.
No,
your
because
gun.
they only drop the
Yeah,
add-on
they're fixed.
once. If you respawn the enemy, they don't drop anything.
They don't drop this when they respawn. Aha! So there's really nothing you can do.
So yeah, the drops are fixed and they only happen once. So yep, it's either you have to feed, really deal with this boss casually. You kind of have to grind your POW into your gun first.
I dealt with it casually by resetting a lot until I got lucky.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Well, about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. We may have mostly solidified board positions at this point. Cards doesn't seem to think he's going to be able to match Toad's 309, his high 309 there. Although, Oud Sigma, I've seen him saving a little bit of time in some of these splits. If it all adds up, if it all lines up in one run.
Yeah, my PB is like 325, so.
Oh, you think so? Okay. Well. Listening to the soundtrack for this game right now. Pretty decent music. This is, I'd say it's about as good as the first G.I. Joe's music.
Kickmaster had pretty good music too.
Yeah. All this jump kicking and picking up item drops reminds me of Kickmaster.
Yep. They can't just have the enemy, the drops just appear.
Nope.
They have to go
Oh, I
fly.
forgot where I was.
Oops. We saw a flash of that password screen too. Do you see? You look on Toad's screen right now. You can see that that array of grids. Yeah,
14 3x3 grids. That is the password screen. But I think it's only ever one character per grid. So you could just assign each spot on the grid a number, and then instead have it be letter number, and then it's just a 28 character password. But they laid it out the way they did and made it impossible for kids to continue.
Yeah, that is pretty complicated. It would have been so much easier for them to write and for people to use if they had just given you a string of letters and numbers, like every other game. But I guess they saw the cool Mega Man passwords and they're like, yeah, we need something futuristic like that. Too bad we have way too much data to be saved on that style password, so we're just gonna need 14 of the grids.
They did put a lot of effort into the aesthetic of the game. There's lots of G.I. Joe and military stuff in the menus and the presentation that really doesn't have to be there, but make it, sort of interesting package.
It's nice.
Yeah, the password is
Capcom's licensed
part of
games
that.
from the NES era are generally top notch. They put a lot of effort into them.
Right, and they
Like all of
sure
the
did.
Disney games that they did.
Right, and this one definitely is no exception. I mean, it really shows that they put some detail into it. These levels are pretty good looking. I mean, they are pretty interesting. They don't look like they're reusing tiles all over the place.
The mechanics, while a little difficult to get used to, are actually really good once you get used to them.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's actually a really good game, and I
Right.
might have to come back and play it casually once and see the intended way to beat that asshole.
Well, anyway, we're in sudden death mode. I forgot to call it out when that was happening, but we are. It's your last chance to reset at this point.
Utsuming is already over cards time on this boss.
Alright.
Does save 2 seconds though.
Alright, well, looks like he made a bit of an improvement to it.
Alright.
Yeah, Toad's plus 1.7, and he misses a jump anyway, so
Oh, so that kills his run.
yeah, but I think he's going to be really happy with the 309 that he got.
I sure would be. That was a pretty tight run. I mean, looking at the splits he was having leading up to that, in the previous runs leading up to that, it didn't seem like he'd be able to save that much on. It's like it was over 3 seconds that he saved on his 309 run. So we're switching over to Conquest of the Crystal Palace now. Pretty interesting game. The players have had only an hour to work on this. This was our mystery game of the day. It was just revealed an hour before the show started. So unlike G.I. Joe, these players haven't had very long to work on it, so they're sort of, they've been routing this on the fly. And, it's just one level, including the boss fight, so it's a short enough goal that they probably have had some time to really solidify a route and start optimizing, but even so, we may see them changing it up as they go.
Yep, I've definitely seen people decide to go for some slightly different things. Everyone had to kind of look at the risks and benefits of doing certain things, and even the video, like there's not a lot of speedrun history for this game. Not a lot of work has been put into finding strats and stuff, so it's possible that players could have found some new things, some little things to either go a little faster or maybe be a little safer. Or maybe just something they're more comfortable with. Everyone seems to be moving pretty well. I think it's just about... it's going to be largely about avoiding these pits at first. There's not too many of them, but when they're there, they're quite treacherous.
Alright, let's take a look at what the brackets look like after that first one. So in the first level matchup here, it's Toad versus Ood Sigma. And Toad beat Ood Sigma in that, so he's up 1-0. And it's also Cards versus Mikey in the other one-on-one matchup. And the winners of each of those two matchups will play each other in matchup number 30 that you see here to the right. So we won't know who those people are going to be until at least after the next match, possibly after the third one, because the players do have to win 2 out of 3 to advance. And I don't think we've said this yet, but the times that these players have will count towards all of the matchups that they're going to do today, all of the matchups between these 4 people. So the first level matchup, the second level matchup, and then the losers bracket matchup of the people who lost the first level.
Yeah, it sounds a lot more complicated than it is when you say it out loud.
Right. It's easier to show them to...
Everyone is competing
try.
against everyone.
Including you. Let's switch over to new board. So, fresh board up here. We've got all the players. Looks like they've got their scripts started and they're reacclimated to the game. Sometimes it's kind of tough to change over from a game that controls very differently. So we like to give the players a minute to sort of de-rust a bit.
Yeah, in G.I. Joe, when you attack in the air, you go really fast, and in this game, you drop straight down.
This one feels nice and leisurely after G.I. Joe.
Ain't that the truth?
It's actually a pretty good break between the two G.I. Joe goals, I have to say.
Yep, hopefully it lets your hands recover a bit, maybe. Well, I think we can probably get started with this. Is everybody ready to go on this?
Yes.
Yep. I guess so.
I guess so is good enough. Well then, alright. I'm going to count you guys down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck!
Good luck.
GLHF.
Log. Yeah, I don't care whether or not you have fun. But good luck.
It's not
This
fun
is
again.
this is Conquest of the Crystal Palace. It is a game by Asmic, which is probably why you probably haven't heard of this game. But it's pretty awesome, I think. You've well, I mean, it would just be a solid platformer, but then it has this dog. You can see it on Ood Sigma and Toad's screens. This dog is amazing.
Yeah,
You
he
can
is.
summon him at any point. He's got almost as much health as you do. And his AI has him constantly going after enemies all the time. If there's one on screen, he's going nuts trying to find it and eat it. He does as much damage as you do. And he climbs walls. Like, he just goes up the wall. I don't know. And if he falls in a death pit, he just climbs right out of it. He's unstoppable. And he is super helpful, and he's cool, man. Just look at him.
The only exception to that death pit one is if he falls off the bridge at the top of the level, he generally doesn't come back, so you have to unspawn him and then respawn him.
Right, yeah, he's probably stuck off the bottom of the screen somewhere, and the AI can't get him back up there, but... yeah, it's nice that you can call and uncall the dog whenever you like. The item selecting mechanism's a little weird. You hit down, you hold down, and you hit A some number of times, and it cycles this arrow through these icons that are at the bottom of the screen. And whatever one it stops at when you let go of down, I think, is the one that it chooses. So fortunately the dog is the first one, so all you have to do is hit down and A to call him or uncall him.
Yeah, he's super erratic when he's running around because there's almost always something on screen, just because there's so many of them, and killing them all is slow, so you're going to run past them, and that means they're going to still be on screen behind you. So he's usually going to be running around and jumping all the time, and that makes it really hard to jump off of him, which is something you can do. He is a platform.
Oh, we just saw it on Toad's stream.
Mean. Yeah.
Just as you said that.
And he's planning on using him there again.
No.
So it's a little mean to just jump on him like that, but he's fine. He can take it. He's some kind of... I think he literally is some kind of, like, spirit super dog, so... he doesn't care. And you can use him like a platform. There's a couple spots where there's a really tall wall, and once he kind of jumps into it, he's just going to ride all the way up it, so he's actually quite consistent in his movement there, and you can rely on him to be there as a platform. And there are some other spots where you can use him to skip some jumps on these vertical sections, but it's super hard.
Yeah.
If you want to see some really fun things, watch the tool-assisted run, which starts the game with a different power-up. We'll talk about that in a little bit,
yeah.
I guess, but it can jump higher. So that combined with perfect use of summoning this dog creates for some really fun platform skips that are you could probably find some human, doable variants.
I'm sure there are.
If you really looked for them and really practiced. Not the kind of thing you can do in an hour. So probably not going to see exciting new dog tech during this, but people have already found a couple ways to make it useful as a platform, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's interesting that you can call the dog out and get consistent movement out of him in these places. Consistent enough that you can use the dog as a platform. The only luck I had with jumping off the dog was calling the dog and then immediately jumping off of him, because the moment you call the dog, you know where he's going to appear from. And then beyond that, it's going to sort of depend on what enemies are on the screen and where they are. But it looks like the dog can be relied upon a bit more than that.
Dog is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, Toad's really putting that dog to work there. Had a couple spots where he, it's actually like a leap of faith, and he just relies on the dog rising from this death pit to save him on
nice.
On a jump there, just to save a little bit of time. The players do not have the high jump that the task gets.
Come on.
At the start of the game, you pick one of 3 power-ups.
Yes.
And it's just a permanent thing. It's kind of a unique thing. Not a lot of games did that, really alter your gameplay mechanics at the start with some kind of permanent choice. So these guys have a health orb upgrade rather than the high jump, and rather than the fire attack that a regular speedrun goes for.
Nice boulders, nice.
The fire attack is, it's actually not put to use in the stages in the speedrun, but I think that's actually where it shines rather than this boss fight.
It's pretty helpful because it's a projectile, so you can use it much more effectively than you can the melee, the sword attack, because it doesn't make you drop straight down after you use it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think you can use it on the rise and keep rising afterwards, and not just slam back down. It doesn't do quite as much damage as the sword. It does about half. It does half the damage.
But it's definitely nice being able to shoot some enemies that are out of reach. There's a few places where you have to jump across a gap, and there's an enemy right there on the other side, and there's nothing. There's no easy way to deal with it, but the projectile really helps for that. You can use it on the boss fight, but it's actually much more effective to use the sword. But these are all items that you can buy in the shops. If you see the shop girl at some point during this level, and she's scattered all over the place. Yeah. The shops are actually pretty funny little sequences, but you can buy, I think all of the starting items can be bought from there. It's just that you get to choose at the beginning of the game which one you want to have from the start without having to buy it. We gave players the health upgrade because that's probably going to be the most helpful to them, boosting through the enemies and just making it more consistent. The projectile, the fire is also a helpful choice, but the TAS actually goes with the high jump because it's going to be doing some crazy skips.
There we go.
Looks like everyone is on the board now.
Yep, everyone's got to run. Poor Ark is timing his heart out.
Yeah, a bunch came in right at once. Yeah, everyone got to this this boss fight, so you probably got to see a whole bunch of it. The guy on the bottom is often invincible. First off, if you attack him from the front where his shield is, it's always going to bounce off his shield, so you got to get him from behind. And it seems like after you hit him, the guy above triggers a sort of lightning attack that hits him, and then while it lightnings on him, he's invincible. And so you're kind of stuck waiting a lot for this first guy. But there is a bit of a delay between when you hit him and when that lightning thing happens. Sometimes, I think based off of how far away he is from his little helper at the top of the screen. Maybe.
I don't remember.
It's
the run I just finished, I was able to dodge all the lightning. My dog was super obedient, and I completely skipped that little phase of the attack pattern.
Yeah, if you do manage to get enough time before that lightning comes down, you actually can kill that boss before the lightning even hits him. And well, the first part of the boss anyway. You need to make use of the turnaround sword slash thing.
A weird maneuver. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
It's got to be. It has its own sound effect, and it does bonus damage.
It does a lot of damage. So you looked at the damage values on this, right? What was it?
It does 4 times the damage of a regular attack.
Fucking boulders!
The boss has 24 health, and it does 16. So that plus 2 regular slashes can take him out.
Holy shit, these
It's possible to get all 3 of those hits in before the lightning comes down.
Yep.
After that, got the little guy flying above. Basically, he picks a spot somewhere horizontally and then says, I'm going to just hang out here a little bit. He's going to move back and forth just a little bit, but he is going to stick to this one spot. And then after a set amount of time, which is
couple of
random,
seconds,
thankfully, yeah, he decides to dive down after you.
Yeah,
so he is predictable, and you can be ready to hit him with your sword as he comes down. Or, as I've seen, I think it was Toad do once, you actually can hit him with the turnaround slash. It's pretty tricky because he moves really fast. There's a delay before the attack comes out, and it's really hard to use it in the air as well. But I think it does kill that guy in one hit if you can land it. So that's pretty cool. So this boss fight where instead of waiting for him to fly around and come down and this other guy is invincible all the time, it's possible to actually do that boss fight super fast, and it's a great place to save time if you're looking to do that.
Right.
You know, if you want to win, if that's something you're interested in. I say look to the boss fight.
Yeah, because that first form you can kill almost immediately. Just you come in there and just do what three slashes before as he's spawning. I mean, before he gets to do anything.
So I definitely think the person who wins this is going to be the person who has the best boss fight.
Although some parts of this climb look like they can be pretty tricky. We've already heard some complaints about these boulders.
Yep.
The spawning of the boulders it's a little hard to predict. I mean, they appear in the same places, but it's sort of like when the screen height is at a certain height value, you'll get these spawns, and I think if you just stay there at the right height, they'll just keep spawning and spawning.
Yeah.
And there are other times that you can go right past the trigger point and not get a boulder. It's just a matter of like where the screen hesitates as you're climbing. You know what the boulder's going to do. It's kind of hard to get used to. And you can get into these situations where you're trying to get up, and it's just like every time a new boulder spawns, just as you're trying to
every
jump.
time.
Yep.
And attacking in the air is often not an option because you fall down. You don't get to keep going to the next platform. It seems like that's why a couple of players have opted to use the dog platform in these sections, because if you get hit by a boulder, typically you'll stay on the dog platform as he continues going up for you. So that was a neat little consistency strat that some people have pulled out. There, Mikey gets the quick kill on the first form of this boss.
Now I'm trying to get this bird to cooperate. So, Myth, you were saying that it may even be better not to use the dog during the second form of this boss fight.
Yeah, the boss can target you or the boss, and you don't know which. And you really want to know where he's going to be when he comes down, because he is not down for very long at all.
Right, yeah, you don't want him to go after the dog.
He generally hovers right above the area he's going to dive, though, so...
I'm pretty sure he dives at one of two targets, either you or the dog. So if one of you is below him, he will sometimes dive down. But if you're the only target, if the dog is not around, he will always go after you. So you can put yourself across the screen from him and give him this nice long dive that is easier to read and easier to react to. But the dog is very likely to land a hit if he goes after the dog. So free hits, always pretty good. Players had to kind of decide how they were going to use this dog for the boss fight.
Yep, definitely a trade-off there between consistency of the boss's behavior and getting those extra hits from the dog.
Really? Nope.
Well, all four players on the board so far. Looks like the closest race right now is Cards versus Toad. They are just over 1 second apart.
That might be the story of today's matches here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple spots with these little bone skeletons that were on Mikey's screen there before they harassed him to his grave. But
No,
these
it was the
guys,
monkey did it.
yeah, the monkey was the finisher. But when they're one ledge below you, and there's a couple spots where that is the case, you can't hit them with the sword at all. And then if you try to jump over them, they're really good at turning around and following you. And they seem to move at exactly your speed, so they will just be under you as you move, and it's completely inevitable that you come down on top of them. So, good place to damage boost. They're going to be right there, giving you those damage boosts.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a situation where you'd rather have health, then go a little faster, then they're a problem. Definitely health management, a huge thing for this goal. It's easy to take hits. You know, there's these boulders, there's this water. So there's plenty of spots where it's easy to take a hit. But there's also plenty of spots where you want to take a hit. Yes.
Right.
So players had to figure out, like, am I going to go for every single helpful damage boost? How much health does that leave me with? Am I okay with that, knowing that I could also be hit here, 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 here? And so you can even kind of adjust where you take your damage boosts based off of how much damage you've taken throughout the stage, or that sort of thing. So
Yeah, there's a few places that
decisions.
Right, yeah, I think the waterfalls that you mentioned are probably one of the best places to take damage at, because I think they're triggered by your proximity to them, and they'll just drop 4 little shots of water every time you approach. And unless you want to spend about 2.5 seconds maybe waiting for them to come by, you're going to want to get hit and boost through. I think the record run gets hit by a different thing and then boosted forward. Like, it gets hit by something behind him and then boosts forward through the water. But
Yeah, you need the invincibility frames.
Yeah.
You don't really need the actual
Fucking monkey.
boost. Typically, the waterfall is going to hit you somewhere you don't want to be.
Mhm.
So if you can get a boost forward, get the iframes, and get through the waterfall, that is the ideal situation.
Yep. Yeah, another tricky part is there's one of these orange things, these orange guys standing on one of the bridges in the middle section of a bridge.
Oh yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. You can try to land just short of him, land a little bit to the left of him, and take him out with the sword. It's not too hard to land on that little space of platform in front of him. So I would actually recommend that if anyone's having trouble with trying to boost through him. But he's in a really awkward spot where if you hit him and if you're trying to damage boost through him and you hit him the wrong way, you'll get knocked off the bridge, either to the left or to the right. It's sort of hard to explain how to hit him and get knocked back into a spot that's actually on the bridge.
Definitely risky, and it's right near the end of the goal, so probably something you'll only see for people who are in a really niche situation where they really need to make up that time, or that's the only way they can save time.
Also, see, I haven't seen anyone use it yet, but there's another way through this level that involves taking a rising platform. I think on Cards' screen. Yeah, on Cards' screen you're seeing it right now. It was a platform that spawned from the top of the screen, and you can actually backtrack and grab that platform and ride that all the way up, but I don't think that it's faster than going the way these guys are doing it. The advantage is there's a shop girl over there also, and you can, I don't know, I think it's got different items in the shop than the other shop does, but we're not really seeing the players taking advantage of the shops in this goal anyway.
Yeah, it's and we mentioned it a little bit, but it is really cute that they put that in there. And there's a bunch of power-ups. Like you can get the high jump and you can get the projectile attack from the shop.
Get back here.
And you can also just refill your health and refill the dog's health and all kinds of. There's a fair number of things, really. You've probably seen money dropping from all the enemies. That is the currency that you do use in the shop, but since everyone's skipping it, we're not going to be a factor.
Okay.
But I could see it possible to sort of construct a goal where visiting the shop is something a player might want to actually do. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if we did some later levels. I mean, this is just the first level. But the reason I brought the platform up is because it's not that much slower than going the way these guys are going. You see Mikey's is at this point right now. He's gone to the right and he's doing the climb this way instead of taking that platform. And it's maybe a little less consistent even though it's faster. So I don't know, if someone was looking for a nice safe strategy, was going to work on like optimizing the boss fight or something and not so much on optimizing the level itself, they might try it. I thought someone might try it, at least.
Well, it seems like there's a lot going on, and there's only about 10 minutes left in this match, so I don't know if anyone wants to make that sort of adjustment right now,
Yep.
but it is an option.
We just saw that bridge we were talking about earlier, Claim Mikey's Run. That little section where there's that guy standing on the middle part of the bridge.
Yeah, he got a boost off of a monkey, which put him through the guy, but not off the edge just yet. But the follow-up afterwards did him in. The fall cancel on the attack is pretty neat because it lets you do some little jump attacks basically as you're moving, and you can get some attacks off, without stopping. It's a really minor time savings, but it is something you can do. And if it's pretty simple, if the enemy dies in one hit, and most of these enemies do. But if you need to get 2 hits off, it's actually a pretty tight window. Probably have to stop a little bit.
Yeah, it always creates an interesting trade-off when you can't shoot without stopping your motion in a game.
had a good thought there.
Damn it. The worst jump.
Oh, hello?
Just slipped right off the edge there. It's really fun when like you miss a platform, as you can see on Oot Sigma's screen. He's just standing there waiting for this platform, and meanwhile the dog is like, "Come on already! Like I've already climbed this wall beside you 3 times while you've been standing there. Let's go, human."
That dog is hyper. We haven't really seen any misses of jumping over that shop right there. There's some point midway through this level that you have to jump over the shop girl.
I did it like on my first time.
Okay, it does happen every now and then. It's you know, kind of a tight jump. It's not anything that, you know, we're counting the number of frames of the window. It's not like that kind of tight jump, but it's still, you know, it's non-trivial. It's something that can go wrong if you're not paying attention.
I think what throws people off is her speech bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You think that the speech bubble is part of the hitbox, so like you kind of don't want to touch it, so you jump a little earlier and then you come down on top of her head.
Yeah, better to jump late, I guess.
Works, I guess.
It's interesting. A lot of NES games in which you have a melee attack, like a short-range sword attack, and you know that are side-scrolling platformers, get compared to Zelda 2. It's just a really common thing to compare games like that to Zelda 2. So stuff like Rambo or Battle of Olympus. But this game, even though it fits that description, I don't feel like is anything like Zelda 2. So I'm glad to see, you know, a non-Zelda 2-like game that has a sword attack as your main attack.
Come on. God, please. Oh, man. There we go. That will do. That will do.
Alright, Cards takes 4.8 seconds off of his PB, putting him pretty solidly
Get
in
down
first place.
lower, asshole.
So Toad, who was just a second and a half away from him, has now got quite a lot more ground to cover.
Yeah, it looks like sometimes this boss doesn't... Like, he comes down on top of your head rather than in front of your head. And your sword actually doesn't quite reach him if you're not jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Can have that now.
That's right, Toad has about 4 minutes to prevent this from being his first loss in SGL.
Uh-oh.
It had to happen sometime. I had a streak of 10 wins before I got my first loss, and I felt pretty bad about it.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh. Okay.
Cards betrayed by the dog who would rather kill the plant than save his owner.
Like, I could have been a nice piggyback, but I didn't recognize him until much too late because he doesn't usually go over that way. His direction might be based on the direction you're facing too.
That would be really good if you had at least some control over what the hell he's doing.
Well, it looks like Ood Sigma just got in a huge improvement to his PB. Just chopped 40 seconds off his time, so he's coming back down into striking distance of Mikey now. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock, so we are sort of pushing the boundary, but these players will have a chance to reset before the timer runs out, if they want to. Not yet, though.
Ooh, Cards with skipping the waterfall entirely by going for a dog jump there. It seems like there's no enemies in that one little spot, so you can count on the dog to be a little more
Hit the shop. They hit the shop.
subdued. There it is, the shop.
Yep.
Slightly bigger hitbox than you'd think. Maybe if she didn't have the buns in her hair, you would have been okay. But they're so cute. Speaking of so cute, Kiwi Craze is the game coming up
Kiwi Craze would be fun.
after G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And boy, if you like cute things, will you like that game?
That game's tough.
It is tough. It's brutal to actually try to play through that game fast, but it's certainly
Yeah, the graphics are
cute-looking
deceptive.
game.
By
Yeah,
the
it
way,
looks all innocent.
are those goals warpless?
Yeah, it's going to be warpless, and we're also banning the hover glitch.
I see.
So they're going to have to actually beat the levels the intended way,
Yeah.
for the most
Oh
part.
my.
I
Just
think,
go through the ceiling and then hit a block to warp levels ahead, and then go through another ceiling.
right, yeah, there's not really a good warpless run. In fact, I couldn't find any warpless runs at all. The only one is this, like, the only run I could find is any %, which is like 4 minutes or something like that, because it skips everything. It's kind of interesting, though. The players will have to make up their own strats.
Oh, I thought Jorf would have done a warpless run of that at some point.
If he did, I didn't find it. Alright, but we've got... Well, we're getting down to the end here. Everyone's on their last run, pretty much. Oh! Author Lutz has a warpless PB. Well, too bad we didn't have that as a reference video to help the players out today, but I didn't think to ask.
I figure it's probably safe to ask Author Blues about any
Obscure NES game?
NES or SNES game, yeah.
Okay, well, we're coming down to last call, so now it is your last chance to reset.
There we go.
And no more resets past right now.
So Mikey got a good boss fight, so he's taking it, but the second form is giving him trouble. I bet you wish he
Yeah,
knew
it's
that this was
already-
going to happen before last call. So he just
Yep.
committed.
Oh well.
Ooh,
Likewise, Ood Sigma,
was in a tough position to make that decision there, because he was fighting the boss when last call happened
Yep.
with enough time that he could have beaten the 254, and I mean, that would have been a really tough call to make. If that were me, I don't think I would
Yeah.
know what to do. But he chose to stick with it and ended up getting a bit trolled.
whoa. This boss seems to be... I almost want to say that the dog is still moving around invisibly, and it's trying to target that.
That
'Cause
might
it's
be.
It's being pretty unpredictable here on Ood Sigma's screen. Meanwhile, Toad, at the boss, he doesn't get the quick kill on this first form. So he's going to need something really good here, especially with 1 health left.
Nope.
It's getting to the point where I don't think it's going to happen, but 8 seconds to
GG.
finish this guy off. Oh, tagged in the back. If he had got the turnaround slash, that would have been a really close finish. So he knew he had to go for it. And it's, man, that's tricky to land. But that is the end of our second match, Conquest of the Crystal Palace. I believe there were... None of those runs actually finished, right? The times on the board are our final times.
I believe that's the case.
So our winner of round 2 is Cards of the Heart, followed by Toad, Mikey, and Ooth Sigma.
Yep, I'm getting the brackets updated right now as we speak.
Bad Breaks giving grief to Author Blues in chat. Toad dethroned, says Bad Breaks. A bit dramatic, I think.
I don't know.
He's still
I don't know.
1-1 with
next,
cards.
yeah, this next match will decide it. Ah,
And Mikey and Oot Sigma are 1-on-1,
Yep, they're
One
1-1 as well. Let's take
which
a
I
look
think is our final pairing.
Yep, let's just look at what happened with the brackets here. Looks like Toad has advanced over Oot Sigma, beating him 2-0. Cards has also advanced over Mikey, beating him 2-0 in the 2 matches we've done so far. So the second level matchup here is Toad versus Cards of the Heart, who both have 1 victory over the other. I think, because Cards came in first in this match, and Toad in first in the previous match, right? And yep, down in the losers bracket, we've got Ood Sigma and Mikey are now battling it out. Both of them losing their first level matchup. So now it's Ood Sigma versus Mikey, and they're 1-1. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
because I did not finish the first one, but I beat him on the mystery goal. So
that's right. So yep, that's where we're at. So we both sets of matchups are still in the running at this point, which is I think the first time that's happened. Every other time we've had at least one of the matchups be determined after 2 matches were over. So,
I think so.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
the first time we've got a real fight in
This
the
one
third match.
matters all around.
Yep.
It's all going to come down to G.I. Joe, who's got their jumping and their kicking down.
It all comes down to G.I. Joe. Alright, let's put the G.I. Joe music back on because
G.I. Joe.
because otherwise Myth will sing it.
are you coming over here to sabotage my run, boy? Yeah.
I think
Yes,
in
we
front of the TV is a good place for cats to sit. That's
Yeah.
what I found. That helps my speedrunning.
You can use the visual cues like when this enemy reaches my cat's ear, that's when I jump.
Right? Just hold really still. Alright, let's move on to G.I. Joe updates.
I can't believe I haven't thought to bust out any of those G.I. Joe, the promotional
PSAs.
things, the Fensler Films,
Yeah.
That's right.
dubs of those. Man,
But you
those
got
are
a
good.
30 minutes to throw in as many
Yeah.
Fensler film
Well, I
names
can't
as
just
you
we
can.
can't just throw them out there. That's
You gotta have a
not so-
context for it.
yeah.
Is anyone here a computer?
Need to find something like, man, I bet there's probably a lot of sticks in these woods here. Why don't you give me one of those sticks?
I
See,
know
that's-
one. I know one thing. After doing all that button mash in that first goal, my arms are feeling a little floppy.
Yeah.
Do you want a body massage? Body massage machine, go!
Also,
Chat's
oh,
doing
sorry. That list of the best GI Joes or all the GI Joes ranked, very strong
Yes.
list. Probably have to discuss that at some point during this match. Good. We've excited chat. I'm glad to see. Well, it looks like everyone's got their stream up. Is everyone ready to go on this match?
Yes.
Yes.
Well then, in that case, I'm going to count you guys down. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, well we're jumping right into it. This is G.I. Joe, the Atlantis Factor. A different goal than what you saw in the previous match that we used this.
Yeah, they start off with the jump kick this time, so you don't need to finagle around with enemy drops, hoping they bounce in the right way and stuff like that. You just get right to the jump kicking, and it also seems like mashing on bosses is not going to be the thing that it is in the other goal, which everyone is thankful for. But yeah, we see more Atlantis, more of this sledgehammer guy. So immediately after I say there's no mashing, we see the most mashiest boss from the first goal make a return. That's okay.
But this time we have the laser.
Yeah, you just zap him and he explodes.
Yes, much better.
Ooh, a nice mid-air damage boost from Mikey. I don't know if that was intentional or
Yeah,
not.
that was intentional, but I am happy it happened. I occasionally get it out on that jump, though, so it's not uncommon for that damage boost to happen. So.
Yeah. Just given where these guys are and how they... I guess they're screen spawned.
Yeah. Well, they're spawned at the same spot.
This
Kind of depends on where you are in your jump kick cycle. Like, you kind of just want to be jump kicking all the time, but if you want to land on one of these statues, it's possible you're not quite lined up right, so you need to do a little walking to get lined up. So it's, yeah, you're never quite doing the exact same thing, I think, depending on how cleanly you are executing on these jump kicks as soon as you land. So that could change where you are when an enemy spawns.
Oh, bad ammo management. Let me run out of ammo there. So I had to actually mash through that.
So we see some knee drops on this boss. I don't know the G.I. Joes, man. I don't... Cobra Commander. Snake Eyes. That's
That's not gonna work.
Joe.
That's all of them.
Wildly successful toy series of 2 characters, and then the samurai variant, and the one that shoots slime. What are some other ridiculous... Ice? They'll do like... Ice Batman. He's icy. Buy this toy. I want to chat. Give me your most ridiculous character action figure spin-off variant. I want to see like Spelunker Batman or something.
All you have to do is dig into the late era Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action
Exactly.
figures.
Yes.
There
pretty
is some wacky ass shit in that lineup.
Isn't the one where they're basically like Power Rangers? They have mechs that combine. I think that's a thing. Cooking Mama Bane. Yep. That's a good one. Comes with an easy bake oven.
Isn't there a G.I. Joe version where all characters are Snake Eyes? Just the same show, except all characters have been replaced by Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
Big
Snake Eye Joe.
improvement. Snake Eye Joe. Well, we gotta bust this list out. I've been sitting on this too long. We need to post the list of all the G.I. Joe action figures ranked in
Alright.
order. So, here it comes.
We have had runs from Ood Sigma and Toad. Assuming these splits are correct, it looks like Ood Sigma's 30 seconds ahead.
Water Jetpack Mario is a is a Joe.
All 163, huh?
Are you timing the runs, or should I do it?
I can do it.
Mark is still on his break.
I'm just gonna give you stupid puns if you leave me on commentary, so...
Okay. So what do you guys think is the most difficult part of this goal?
Optimizing the jump kicks. There are plenty of places where you can get hit in the wrong direction. So trying to measure these jump kicks to where you don't run into enemies is quite important, especially on Route 16. I find.
Interesting. It looks like the boosts are dependent on where you are relative to the enemy, not the direction you're facing, so...
Yeah.
Hitting the enemies just the right way if you're planning to damage boost through them seems to be kind of tricky. And it's definitely cool seeing this cinder block hammer guy get wrecked with the lasers.
Twice.
Twice. Yeah, I believe this is the last stage of the game, so...
Yes, it is.
yes,
because
this is sort of
the
like
boss that we don't do is Cobra Commander.
Right, that's right. And it is sort of like a boss rush. It's a mini boss rush that you're doing here in the last stage. There's a bit of boss fighting.
Whoa, wait, I think I figured out why Ood Sigma saves so much time. The goal is split at the boss door in Area F, so you do not fight the boss.
Oh.
That's what Toad did.
Oh. I was wondering what
So,
that guy was doing wrong.
This time is wrong, for one. I'm gonna... clear that.
Shit.
And then I'll get some proper times. So it looks like maybe Toad wasted some practice time on something he didn't have to. Hopefully that wasn't
A little bit.
a big factor.
Yeah, we would fight Cobra Commander, but this save state for the goal barely has enough ammo to where you can get through the rest of the bosses that need it, which leaves you pretty much nothing for Cobra Commander himself, and fighting him without laser is not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, not fun.
So that means he probably made some routing decisions with his ammo that are going to affect things. That really sucks. So on the fly, he knows he can use more ammo. Hopefully he can figure out some good places to use those. His actual time is actually not too far behind Ood Sigma. Just about 5 seconds.
There we go. It's up there on the board now. Toad's got a 310, Ood Sigma with a 305 so far.
Sorry I didn't catch that earlier, I just got so excited about G.I. Joe, you know?
I'm still excited about G.I. Joe. I'm looking through this list of all the G.I. Joe characters right now. Obviously, they put Snake Eyes as number 1 because, you know, that's everyone's favorite character, right? I mean, he's a freaking ninja. Ends up being the main character in a lot of episodes. And I guess he went through a couple different costume changes. I think there's at least 3 different versions of the Snake Eyes action figure. Also...
Oh, sorry, it's Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
Should've
Sergeant
known.
Slaughter, right. The wrestling crossover.
Yeah.
Surprising number of female G.I. Joes as well. They didn't bother to rename them G.I. Janes, they're just taking using G.I. Joe as gender neutral, I guess.
One of these days I'm not gonna clip that corner.
Oh yeah, Mikey misses a cycle on this platform. That's a good 5 seconds.
It was also surprising to me how many ninja-like G.I. Joes there were. You know, in addition to Snake Eyes, there's Storm Shadow, there's Jinx is one that I don't even remember, but apparently that's a ninja as well. Ninjas all over the place.
Yeah, they probably did their like market research and were like, everyone loves Snake Eyes, put more ninjas in.
Put more ninjas in.
Oh, jeez. This is gonna be a problem.
Interesting. This may be the farthest we've gone into one of the matches today without all the runners getting something on the board. Or without most of the runners getting something on the board.
Yeah, everyone has been very, very consistent and fairly evenly matched too. So
I've been very selective with my resets because my goal with this is sub 3.
Yep. And that's fine. We're still in the first half of the match, so this is the time to be picky.
yeah, well, except if 10 minutes from now you're still not on the board, then you think maybe it wasn't the time to be picky.
Well,
But
sure.
these
Yeah.
are the decisions you have to make in SGL. But
Yeah.
Card seems confident. He's put in the time. He knows he can do it. So he's going for it.
Yeah.
Now, we have had the first G.I. Joe game on the show before, I believe. I think we had it as a main game goal once.
Yeah, you're disarming bombs in a sort of mine area.
Right, it's probably placing bombs, because
Placing.
most of the levels, instead of like searching for hostages or something like that, the levels were centered around dropping bombs in certain places so they could blow up something.
You know, just general violence.
Yeah, that's what Joes do. But yeah, so we have had that game before. That's probably got a bit more material left in it than this game does, as far as like levels that make good speedrun material. There wasn't really a lot to choose from. I think we made 2 main game goals and 1 mystery goal out of this game, and the stuff that was left over wasn't really all that suitable for SGL material. So we may not see this game on SGL again unless we're reusing one of these levels.
Yeah, because the speed run, you basically took care of the first third and the back third of the speed run.
Right, yep,
These 2 goals.
yep. First G.I. Joe, though, there's still some material left. We may use that again.
Alright, this run may actually finish.
Mikey too is being pretty selective about his restarts, despite not having a time on the board and being really held back on practice
ammo.
time.
It is ammo.
Okay.
If you don't have enough ammo going in, then
Yep, that's true.
Oh, this elevator cycle, please.
And remember, right now, what we're trying to do, or what they're trying to do, Ood, Sigma, and Toad are basically pitted against each other. The winner of this match determines which of them continues on in the winner's bracket. Mikey and Ood Sigma are the other matchup right now, and they're going to determine who's going to be eliminated from the tournament. So one person of those two, Ood or Mikey's, is going to be done with the tournament after today. So it's very important for them to remember that they only really need to beat one person.
Oh my gosh. That's a PB for me.
A 257.
There we go. Yeah.
Also coming off of red numbers too, so there is a 1.5 seconds to be saved. Also, Cards comes in with just under 3.
Just under 3, so now Cards ahead of Toad, and Ood Sigma further solidifying his lead over Mikey right now. But then again, we haven't seen a completed run from Mikey yet, so we don't know what his times are going to be like once he finally gets one in.
much slower.
Why did I...
Spoiler.
Keep in mind that I pretty much didn't get to start practicing this until today, so...
Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well considering that.
Yeah, we've had a couple episodes where life has prevented people from getting in the practice time that they really wanted to. But this is one where Mikey was definitely in that camp, and everyone else was like, "No way, man! I'm coming hard. I'm coming strong. I'm gonna do the best I can for this episode." And so it's a bit of a tough crowd for Mikey to run into. But he's putting up a really good fight here. Toad2 is also really digging for something.
Yeah, route at the moment, since I practiced the wrong thing. Like a fool.
Yeah, so always make sure you really read what the goals are on the page and the hints.
Yeah, sometimes there's something like super amazing in the tip section. Like hold B to run.
Right. I try to put the most important stuff towards the beginning of it, because I know that once it gets too long, people sometimes miss things, but can't always do it that way.
It's about 11.5 minutes left.
What am I doing?
Mikey fighting for his tournament life here against Ood Sigma's currently first place time.
I missed the
Without
cycle.
a-
What are you doing?
Time on the board. And Toad needs to catch up to Cards, who has got a sub 3 time that he was looking for, and he's also got green splits here.
Yep.
Moving into this next section, we just heard some outbursts a little bit from some slip-ups, so some of that 2.6 seconds is gone, but still could be something here. But Toad's got a
really?
-7, improvising new ammo strats.
Well, looks like Cards managed to get his next run in just barely before Ark finishes timing the previous one.
Beautiful.
Alright, yeah, Cards is 259, goes up there on the board, but now Cards is down to a 257.5, probably putting him ahead of Ood Sigma. And even though that's not going to matter for the outcome of this tournament, because technically right now it's Cards against Toad and Ood Sigma against Mikey, it still matters in terms of points. We do keep track of who beats whom overall, just in general, so we can keep track of players' ratings.
Yeah, the overall ratings are what determine the seeding for the tournament. But I guess those numbers will be recorded and immortalized forever in the prestigious SGL records. So you definitely want your want to do your best.
Oh wow, and real quick, Art got Cards this time, and he's down to, it's officially a 257.48. So that is faster than Ood's time.
So Toad saves a mighty 21 seconds. Actually, let's see.
Nope.
What was his time? Yeah.
No, it's not. It's pretty much on par
It's
with
actually,
his PB.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to figure out how to use that ammo to cut off those 10 seconds. But it seems that practicing too much is going to be the problem here. I think practicing more than you had to in terms of the game
Oh, I don't have enough ammo.
to be a problem. You can just do less of it, but the routing decisions.
Oh, Card's recognizing that he doesn't have enough ammo. He's already resetting.
I think you need roughly like 40 ammo worth of shots to laser the end boss down.
Mm-hmm.
Something like 36 or 40, somewhere 39, somewhere in that range.
See Mikey going with punch strats on this guy.
Yeah, I used my ammo on the first two, so.
Punch cancels his way to a completed run. He's on the board now with a 424.
Oh, this is nice. Profane Gaming is drawing us some contracts that we can put in the tip section in fluent legalese.
Fluent legalese.
Definitely be much clearer if we rewrote everything to be in that language.
Mm-hmm. Very concise.
Yep.
No room for misinterpretation.
There is a lot of music in this game. We've been listening to this G.I. Joe soundtrack, and it's the same playlist that we were playing in the first match, and we still haven't run out of songs. There's 29 tracks on this.
That's good, because otherwise you would be treated to Gangnam Style 8-bit remix on Ring.
That... Wow, they actually outdid the Weezer chiptunes with that one.
Yeah.
I don't even hear it.
Okay, it looks like Toad's most recent run was slower than his previous 310. You have the official word on that. About 6 minutes left on the clock right now.
It even has vocals for the catchphrase. Like real, like, Blades of Steel type of thing.
This is not gonna be great. Okay. With a surplus of ammo, I think this can go places. Why did I do that? That was a weird decision. Hello?
So we haven't really talked much about lag in this game. It certainly seems like it's more of an issue in this goal than in the other one. I mean, of course I say that as I'm looking at Ud's screen, who's right now going through this section with these speeders that are firing bullets everywhere, but it looks like there's a bunch of places in the goal where that happens.
Yeah, this stage in particular does.
Yeah, it seems to really be out of control. The last stage, it didn't really, the last goal we saw, we didn't really see this as much, but...
No, I missed a cycle, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, navigating these mines to get to these platforms that go up and down does not look fun.
Nice, that's actually close to a PB.
252. Putting a lot of pressure on Toad to somehow come up with 18 seconds with routing on the fly.
Trying.
About 2 minutes left, so getting down to it, less than the length of one run. However, the players will have a chance to reset before the timer runs out if they want to.
Actually, no, I can't afford to do that either.
So this jump kick is, I mean, obviously it's doing work here. You're going fast. It hits things while you go fast, but it's not, it's not as overpowered as it can look and seem. The hitbox on it is actually pretty
Really wonky.
confined to your foot.
And it's lower than you would expect it to be.
Yeah. So it's really easy to land on top of things and get hit, or I mean that's the main shortcoming of it, is that the hitbox does not extend below you at all. So it's, unless you're coming down right in front of something, you're probably gonna land on it and get hit instead.
Right.
Another thing that I came across a few times is it actually disappears after you hit the first thing. So while you're still in your jump kick animation, if you damage one thing and run into another thing where the kick would normally normally damage the
Just
enemy,
doesn't
it
happen?
won't. Yeah.
That's interesting.
There we go.
All right, Mikey's got a time that he's a bit happier with. Chopped 42 seconds off of his PB, bringing him down
Needs
to a
another
342.
42 to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, but
It's not gonna happen, but it's nice to see minus 42
Right.
on there.
yeah.
Well, you're just in time because now it is our last call for resets. This is your last chance to reset the game. So take your opportunity before the window closes now.
Oh, that's it. That's gonna make this interesting. Okay. No, that's not gonna work. Rip.
Well, Cards' run bites the dust. Fortunately, though, he's in a good position.
Yeah,
Being
I'm
first
not
on
gonna
the
be able to do this.
Plus 10.
Toad at
Toad's
plus
going
10.
in the opposite direction here. There's no resets left, so he's absolutely going to play it out.
Might as well.
Sigma's just kind of playing for points at this point. Unless Mikey comes up with something amazing.
Doubtful, but you never know.
Maybe I can get through this stage with wetsuit. Let's give that a shot. Oh wait, nope. Never mind that. Once you invest enough time into your main character, General Hawk, there's really no reason to go to anyone else.
GG.
And that's it. He's past the
it.
Well
252 mark, and he's dead.
Yep.
I think we still have 2 active runs going, though.
Mhm. Well, one of them just became less active.
Well, one
Yeah.
not so much now on Oots.
And,
Oh, and
well,
Mikey
that's
is
both.
done as well.
So that
Alright.
was the kind of low-key ending to our match that I think it's fair to say Toad was the favorite. So I think we might see some
Upsets in the
yeah
brackets.
in the bracket.
My apologies to everyone's challenge prediction
The
brackets.
upset train.
Sorry, I'm just
But to be fair, I didn't even pick myself against Toad, okay? So I'm in the same boat.
Neither did I.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
with Mystery Tourney coming to an end, the upset train had to go somewhere from there, so they
That's
came
true,
here.
yeah.
Talk about broken bracket predictions.
well, here we go, though. We have the final results up there on the screen. Cards taking first place in this match over Toad, and Ood taking second place, beating out Mikey, and we have the final bracket results here. Toad over Ood Sigma in the first round, and Cards over Mikey in the first round, and then Cards beating Toad 2-1 today. Cards is staying in the winner's bracket as we move on to the next round, which is going to be starting next week. And then in the loser's bracket, we had
Cards of the Heart.
in the loser's bracket we had Ood Sigma versus Mikey, and it was Ood Sigma who prevailed there. So Ood moves on to another place in the loser's bracket compared to where Toad is going. He's also being moved down to the loser's bracket, but Toad and Ood Sigma will not play each other for quite a while. They're seated into very different places in the loser's bracket. there we have it. I put a bonus game up if you guys would like to play it for a bit. The stream is going to be staying up until the next match starts, until the next set of matches starts at 7 p.m. We're going to have our Kiwi Craze episode kicking off.
Absolutely play this.
You should.
This looks
So,
like fun.
the bonus game that I gave these guys is Super Dodgeball.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I've always wanted to play this.
Good.
I've always got an excuse to play this. I don't know whether to blame you, Fiesel, or thank you.
Well, you get to play a different variation than what you normally see in a speedrun. People have tried to speedrun Beanball mode. That's what this is. This is Beanball mode. Alright, I'll take these brackets down.
Goal beat India. India is infamous in this game for fielding Swami, the destroyer, with
Yeah, I
3
got
times
this.
as much
in-
health as everyone else.
I got a mystery tournament a couple mystery tournaments ago. And I accidentally played it on the wrong difficulty. The difficulty was like easy, and I put it on hard for whatever reason. Still won my match.
Oh yeah, that's quite a different game
Yep.
when you're playing on the hard difficulty level. Oh my goodness.
Yep, I put it on hard, and yet I still beat it because I learned how to use Sam.
So this isn't a team, you're by yourself.
You're by yourself, yep. This is Beanball mode. This is mode B of the game. You sort of have this free to roam around. You're not constrained to certain places like you are in the first mode. And this ends when you eliminate everyone else. It's a little bit tricky getting used to how to throw it so that the other guys won't run away from the ball. Also takes a little bit of experience to get used to catching the ball over the other enemies catching the ball. Like you can be in a pack of people and catch the ball over them if you just time it right.
I remember there being super moves in this game, but I don't remember how to do them.
You should run.
Ow.
Run and throw.
Yep.
Either run
Run
and
and
throw
throw.
or run, jump, and throw. Those are your 2 super moves.
Ah.
Yep.
Oh, this is one of those double tap to run games. I hate this kind of dash control.
Yep, double tap to dash. Good stuff.
Oh, I didn't want to catch that. Oh my. Okay.
So is this fun to play? I can't tell.
Yeah, it actually is.
This is a really fun game to play. Seriously, just go through the normal mode at some time, and it is.
Hello, I can't grab the ball. Yo. Yeah, just let them kill each other. That'll be my way through this. Rip, Steve. Hello?
Oh yeah, Steve is the strongest guy on everyone else's streams, but he's dead on cards. Cherry picking Steve.
Jeez. Barely know how to grab the ball when it's on the ground. Now I got it. Ugh.
Nope.
So this is fun, having to do all the pre-show setup
Shit.
live.
Mm-hmm.
We've never done back-to-back shows like this.
I don't think we have, no. Wait, No, we didn't. No, we haven't done that.
I did not double tap right, game.
Wow, this is a very different instrumentation of this song. Which you guys can't hear.
Did I get hit? Oh shoot. Okay, Randy just got bopped pretty hard. Yikes. Nothing like running around with a chicken with it. Nothing like running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
No.
There we go.
It's
Looks
like-
like these guys are getting the hang of it. Toad's almost finished here.
Toad's cleaning up.
Yeah, he's cleaning up. Look at that.
No.
Oh, take that, John.
I'm getting cleaned up. Because I'm not...
There we
John
go.
has to catch this ball.
Oh! Did that hit me? What was that?
So they're playing on normal difficulty. There's 3 difficulties, easy, normal, and hard. And really the only difference between the modes is how likely it is the computer will catch the ball when you throw it at them. You throw it at the computer and there's some % chance that he's going to catch it, and all they do is just ramp up that value. I think that is the
Oh my
only
God,
difference between the
crap.
modes. But that makes a huge difference in a speed run because it's just like the harder the game is, the more RNG you have to deal with. So that's why most people run this game on easy mode, because they know the computer's not likely to, you know, give them bad RNG and catch the
What am
ball,
I
which
doing
can
passing to him?
be awful.
It's like I barely tell the difference between passing and shooting. Jeez.
Well, Toad being the first to complete this got a 342, so pretty nice. That's a pretty good time. I'm trying to think of what the record for beanball mode is. It's faster than that, but I know that the record was done on easy mode, so it's hard to compare. I watched TMR doing this game on NES Mania, and once he figured out that Sam completely destroys everything, it became a very different
Basically,
game.
once you figure out that Sam is the destroyer,
Right.
it becomes pretty easy to do.
Yeah, in normal mode, in non-beanball mode, the reason why you would always pick Sam for the speed run is because his super shot, it actually goes right through the enemy, and the enemy won't catch it, when you won't lose the ball, you throw right through the enemy, and then one of your backline guys will catch it and then throw it back to you, so you can just completely keep the ball out of the hands of the computer if you do it right. Whereas most of the other people's special attacks will, they might do more damage, but they will end up losing the ball in the process of throwing it.
But
So
yeah,
you don't
once
want
you
that.
figure out Sam is the guy.
Yeah, because you can just keep going, just throw it, throw it back to your guy, throw it.
And
throw it
his
back to your
special
guy.
move does a lot of damage.
It's pretty good, and you can steer it. You can't steer all of their attacks, but his is steerable by a little bit. You guys might notice it in this. I think you can steer in beanball mode as well, but it doesn't really... I mean, it's hard to get much distance out of it. Hard to get much side-to-side distance out of it. These players are figuring out that you can jump to catch the ball when it's coming down. None of the computer opponents think to jump to get the ball, so it's really easy when the ball's a high floater to be able to get it before the computer does. You also see a lot of flickering going on, and it's kind of confusing because there's two different flickers that are happening. In general, there's a lot of sprite flicker just because there's a lot of a lot of characters on the same line, so you get the usual nest sprite flicker. But you also see a more persistent flickering, which is indicating that one of the opponents is your target.
Please do that.
On cards screen, we got Sam versus John here, neck and neck.
I forgot how just fun this game is. I played it years ago and haven't played it again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this game is a ton of fun.
Yep, it's good. It's a good two-player game. It's a great one-player game. It really is just a fun little game. And it's nice and short, too. Once you finally know what you're doing, it doesn't take you too long to play through it all, so it's kind of satisfying.
Yay! Oh god. Yeah, I think I'm done.
There it
Well
is.
played.
John murdered. His angel off to heaven. The surprisingly brutal game of dodgeball is
Brutal
over.
dodgeball, yes.
Sam, the only survivor.
Nicely done.
Alright. Thanks for the matches, guys. Good luck on the rest of the episode, and
Thank you. Congratulations on winning today. Nice
Oh.
work.
Yeah, congrats.
such a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I bet.
Ugh. Alright, talk to you guys later.
Okay, see you. I'll start bringing in some of the other streams. I think at least one of our streams for the next match is already up, so we'll have something to fill that space.
Alright, well, I think that's it for me, too. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thanks very much. Nice work today.
Thank you.
We're getting
Yeah,
some
later.
crazy ads on Cards' stream. Don't click it, it's a scam. It says download, but it's actually just like an ad with a picture that says download and it takes you somewhere else. Doing some Christmas shopping. Black Friday around the corner, I guess.
Oh. What? It's not even targeting me. Why is it hitting me?
Alright, we get a little taste of Kiwi craze up on the screen as well. We see Dragon Dark preparing for his upcoming match. Bring Zyre's stream up as well. Even though he's just hanging out, letting his Kiwi get some exercise. That's right, Tolu, 2-1. It's a twofer today. Quite a lot of things going on today. We've got, I think, the Mystery Tournament finals happening, and that's probably a lot of overlap between people who would watch that and would watch this, but we're doing these episodes when people are available.
Yay, sub 2 minutes. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for having me, guys.
Sub 2 minutes. Very good. Nice going. Yeah, thanks for being on. Nice
Good
job
luck,
today.
everyone.
We'll see you in
Appreciate
round
it.
2.
Alrighty, sounds good. Later, everyone.
And I think I'll sign off so you can switch over to the other Skype call now.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for being with us, Mikey.
Yep, it was fun, even though my plans of practice got a little sabotaged. I was able to, at least I got a point.
Yeah, you definitely kicked some butt in that conquest of the Crystal Palace.
Alrighty,
Bye-bye.
everybody enjoy the second match. Later.
Okay, bye-bye. And I'll see you later, Ood. Alright, let's cold call these guys and see what happens. Didn't announce that I was starting the Skype call, I just hit the button, so we'll see if anyone's still eating food. Hello?
I'm still in the process of making it, so.
Okay.
I'm working on food, but I'm here.
I need to
So
work
I'll be
on-
right back.
That's fine. I gotta work on food as well, so that may take a moment. This is good music, but I think, well, I'll let the Super Dodgeball music play out before we switch back to Rainwave. Alright, guys, I'm going AFK for a minute or two.
Is hovering allowed? No, there is no hovering allowed in this goal of any kind.
No hovering, no warps. Ah, too far right.
I think all of these little dudes are technically New Zealanders. The game kind of takes you all over New Zealand.
Well, the game is called New Zealand Stories in other parts of the world.
Yep.
Short jumped. Yeah, I thought this game was fun while practicing goal number 1. And then goal number 2 happened.
Yeah. Could be worse. We could be playing more water levels.
Could be worse. There were plenty of games in that list we voted for on that could have been way worse. Alright, 20 seconds of just holding down right while I swim. Get on it. There goes a second. There it is.
Jumped into the spikes.
All right, 2-4. Play nice. Okay, got by the first section, no death.